Alert Weather Extra, a little bit drier for us out there today, and I know it's tough to say cool when the temperature's in the 90s, but we were at 100 in Birmingham on Saturday. If you checked in with Lauren and Matt over the weekend, we were discussing some of those triple-digit temperatures, but the storms arrived just as we talked about on Saturday and really helped to improve those temperatures. Let's talk about what's going on this week, and got some interesting developments happening down in the Gulf of Mexico we're going to talk about, and it's all from that stormy weather over the weekend. It all settled in south of us, and there's a chance that may try to spin up into a tropical system. But let's get to our first alert weather headlines, and here's what you need to know for this evening. Isolated storms possible to the south, and tomorrow a similar setup. Could be a stray shower or storm to the south. Next big thing will be an increase in storms on Wednesday and Thursday. Still mainly those afternoon storms, but a more widespread coverage, and we could see some tropical development again we talked about there, possibly over the northern Gulf of Mexico. Right now, checking out radar, we're seeing some 90s, but we're also seeing some 80s, which is nice. In fact, Rockford, check it out there, 82 degrees, 80 in Ashland. We'll take it. I know it's humid, but certainly an improvement. And there's one little shower here. There's cholera, and this has popped up over Chilton County, and it's moving to the west direction. So if you're watching me here in Jemison, I want to give you that first alert for the possibility of some wet weather there, tracking just north of Clanton and tracking some of that wet weather there moving into southern areas. Tomorrow, again, a similar setup by 1 o'clock. Temperatures in the low 90s there as we go into the afternoon. Feeling humid, so the heat index could reach into the upper 90s there later in the day. So stay well hydrated out there for the World Games. Only a 20% chance of a shower or storm in the Birmingham area. But again, I mentioned rain chances really going up as we get into our Wednesday and Thursday, and we could have a tropical system that could also impact those rain chances for the weekend and into next week. Want to bring in meteorologist Lauren Linehan for a tropical update. And Lauren, all that stormy weather you were actually tracking on Saturday has kind of settled into the south, and that's often at times we see something like this, it really gets our attention.
Yeah, that's right, Wes. And honestly, this isn't anything unusual to see this time of the year. You get a front that comes through, which, okay, you don't get those every day in the summertime. But if a front manages to get as far south as the Gulf of Mexico, sometimes it's able to spin up a tropical area of low pressure. So that's what we're watching, this stalled out front across South Alabama. And if it manages to get a little farther down into the Gulf, where you've got this disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity extending all the way up into South Alabama, South Georgia, there is very well a possibility we could see some tropical development. Now, as of right now, the National Hurricane Center just came in with an update. It's still at a low 30% chance of tropical development, but as that front you can see here is stalled out to the south, it's still going to be a focal point, regardless of whether this gets an official name, if it gets organized enough. It's going to be as a focal point for more rain chances over the coming days, especially along the Gulf Coast. We're talking from southeast Louisiana all the way to the Florida Panhandle, those enhanced rain chances, even offshore from the Gulf of Mexico. Some kind of, quite frankly, ridiculous rainfall totals expected because there's just so much tropical moisture in the atmosphere. So when you have a lot of moisture in the atmosphere and you get these systems that can release that moisture, you end up getting a lot of rainfall. So as we look here between two of our weather models, these are our main long-range models that we use to kind of give us a better handle on, okay, if a system does develop, what could that mean not just along the Gulf Coast, but what could it mean for rain chances here in central Alabama? So Wes has been mentioning Wednesday and Thursday, we do expect some increased rain chances. Another little front is going to slide our way from the north, but just kind of transitioning back to that unsettled weather pattern. So here we are Thursday afternoon. You can still see some moisture over our area producing some rain and storms, but not only pay attention to what's going on here in central Alabama, but focus on the Gulf Coast as well. You can see a lot of rain is going to be falling. It looks initially that if a system were to develop or any type of tropical low, any type of disturbance, even if it's not formally named, would eventually start off to the west of us. But there's a possibility as we get into the weekend. Here we are Saturday at 4 o'clock. This is our European model showing that this could shift back eastward and maybe move inland. And if it did move inland, that would enhance our rain chances by the latter half of the weekend into next week. This is that GFS model, the American model, showing showing that same scenario, basically, kind of pushing off to the west here initially, and then maybe coming inland. Now, it may not be an organized named system, but the impacts are going to be the same. Now, if it were an organized system, we may have to look more at gusty, breezy conditions with any tropical storm force winds in place. But what we're really going to be focused on as we look at the long term here for the weekend is if that axis of tropical moisture that's definitely going to be along the Gulf Coast, if it can spread far enough inland into early next week to give us some higher rainfall totals. So this is just one of our models here, the European model, showcasing that definitely going to be seeing the potential for some flooding rainfall along the Gulf Coast. Remember, you don't have to get a tropical system to not have all of that rain in the forecast. You can still get rain even without a formal tropical system. So definitely those highest rainfall totals right along the immediate Gulf Coast, maybe 3 to 7 inches of rain. That's just showing from New Orleans to Destin. But you notice that axis of heaviest moisture, here we are Monday night, could also shift inland. So where would that be? Going into central Alabama, central Georgia? Time will tell. Remember, a system hasn't even formed yet. So until that happens, our models can't really get a good handle on what is going to transpire. But as we zoom in here to central Alabama, we at least have a first alert, even if we don't have a tropical system that gets named, which, by the way, that next name on the list is Danielle. I do still think we could get some heavy rainfall in the forecast for us. This is showcasing across South and East Alabama, some of those higher totals, upwards of maybe 3 inches through Monday of next week. So this is certainly something we are watching. Remember, nothing has been named yet, but this is the time that you need to be making sure you're paying attention to the forecast, because what we're telling you right now will likely change tomorrow morning. When you're in situations like this, the forecast is very dynamic. It can and will change west, so we're going to be keeping a close eye on things for you here as always and giving you that first alert if indeed we do see something like Danielle forming in the tropics.
Yeah, just amazing seeing some of those rainfall estimates. I think from our Barron model, I saw one there, Lauren, said 21 inches.
Yes.
Over the next several days.
I even saw one earlier today, which I just immediately wanted to throw it in the trash, showing over the Gulf of Mexico, or the NAM model, the North American model, showing 40 inches of rain.
Wow, wow. So even if it's a weaker system, I mean, we're going to see a lot of rain with all this unsettled weather over the Gulf Coast. That potential is certainly there, and I know certainly you'll be keeping us posted, and we'll be closely monitoring that situation for you, letting you know what's happening there. Here's what else we have coming up. You know, we've had that moderate drought that set in across parts of the area. We're going to update you on the drought conditions and roller derby heat safety. We're going to check in with meteorologist Fred Hunter for an interesting Absolutely Alabama Weather Extra report. And we take you beyond the 7-day forecast. Of course, a lot of what's coming has to do with that tropical system that we're tracking, or what may become a tropical system. But we got your weather picks and more as we continue on First Alert Weather Extra.
At West Shore Home, we pride ourselves on being the fastest and most convenient option for homeowners who are looking for a new shower or bath project. Today, Joe and I are going to look at some projects, why they're so popular, and how we can offer you some extra savings right now.
Yeah, well, Kirsten, the big question out there is, why are so many people choosing to remodel their shower or bath right now?
Joe, right now homeowners across America are looking for ways to reinvest and build value in their homes. Replacing your shower or bath is a great way to do that. For folks who call in right now, we're offering some great savings with our 4th of July flash sale. You can lock in that price and get limited time long-term financing of 0% APR for 48 months. And on top of that, for anyone who calls in now, we'll take an additional $1,500 off your shower or bath project.
Wow, it seems like the price of everything else keeps going up, but you're saying for anybody that calls in now, they can lock in their price and get 0% APR for 48 months. That's amazing. Now, Kirsten, for a project like this, they probably have to put some money down, right?
They definitely don't. So many people think when they're going to do a project like this, they have to have thousands of dollars saved up for a down payment. That's simply not the case.
So you're saying they can start their project now and not have to worry about paying anything out of pocket. That's incredible. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, what do one of these projects look like when they're finished? Can you give us an example?
This homeowner wanted something that was safer and more accessible. We came in and installed a brand new walk-in shower. The best part is they were able to take advantage of our long-term financing, that 0% APR for 48 months. And just as a reminder, anyone who calls in right now can get an additional $1,500 off their project.
Wow, Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, it does not get any easier than this. This offer ends this week. Call in now to get 0% APR for 48 months. And for a limited time, they're taking $1,500 off every shower and bath project. Call West Shore Home now.
Well, we had a drought monitor released last week showing those drought conditions starting to build into parts of Alabama. Thankfully, we had a little bit of rain over the weekend. Let's get an update on the drought monitor situation with meteorologist Matt Daniel.
All right, let's talk about the latest drought monitor. It's issued every Thursday morning. So I just want to give you that midpoint update on what's happening or what has happened. And this is before all that heavy rainfall that we experienced over the weekend. So I do think we'll see a different picture coming out as we go into Thursday, and we'll show you that later on this week. But you can see it's not too bad with the drought conditions across central Alabama. Some dry conditions right along the Alabama-Mississippi border with severe drought in northeastern parts of Mississippi, and we're seeing a lot of drought as well in parts of north and central Georgia, going down towards south Georgia, where they're in a moderate drought as of now. But of course, the drought continues across the western half of the country. It's not too bad across the northern plains and into parts of the mid-Atlantic and northeast, seeing decent conditions. But over the past 5 days, it's just incredible amounts of rainfall all the way up towards Iowa, Missouri, all the way down towards the south and east. Several spots have received 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. Even along the Gulf Coast saw a lot of rainfall. And some of those readings we saw on Saturday, impressive. Birmingham area picked up almost 2 inches of rain in some spots. And then as you go along Interstate 20, we were looking at some rainfall totals up to 3 to 4 inches. So pretty impressive as you go eastbound towards Anniston, and even in parts of Talladega County seeing over 3 to 4 inches of rainfall. So that's some much needed rain. Of course, we could have done without all the nasty storms that rolled on through Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. So here's a look at how much rainfall we would typically see in the month of July. It's actually one of our wettest months of the year here in Birmingham. We would typically pick up almost 5.5 inches of rainfall. On average for Tuscaloosa, a little over 4 inches of rain and a little over 4.5 inches of rainfall in Anniston. But you can see how much we've already received, 2.19 here in Birmingham, only about 1.25 inches in Tuscaloosa. So we still need a good amount of rainfall to match the average for this time of the year and for the month. And in Anniston, a little over 3 inches of rain has fallen. So as I was mentioning, July can be one of our wetter months. You get those pop-up showers and storms, produce heavy rainfall amounts, and sometimes they can produce some pretty strong storms as well. So just a reminder, you just always monitor the WBRC First Alert weather app. But as we go ahead in the next 5 to 7 days, how much rain could we see across the country? Well, I do think we'll see some improvement with the drought conditions across parts of the southeast, especially Louisiana, Mississippi, and Georgia. We're going to be watching a cold front and maybe a tropical low, which we'll have more updates with that on Extra and throughout the week. But we'll be watching this area very closely. So just a reminder, I know we have the World Games this week. There will be some higher rain chances by Wednesday and Thursday. So just a reminder, when thunder roars, you want to go indoors. There's a storm nearby, and lightning can strike within 10 miles of a storm, even if it's not raining. So monitor the WBRC First Alert weather app wherever you go. It will give you those notifications.
Thanks for that, Matt. And you know, we've been talking about all that rain that we got here in Alabama to kick off July, but what about when the heat is rising? Just like we saw last week, we hit 100 degrees over the weekend. We check in with meteorologist Fred Hunter, who goes and talks with one of our local roller derby teams to see how exactly they stand to beat the heat.
It's time for another Absolutely Alabama Weather Extra. We're here today with Rachel Doak, also known as Road Rach. Now, Rach, tell me the nature of your name.
Oh, well, I play roller derby. I've played since 2011, but I'm most proud of our kids team, the Steel City Slayers of Birmingham, and they're a junior roller derby team.
They all have roller derby names.
Oh,
I think that's interesting.
Yeah, we're a full contact sport, but we add some silly into it, and the how roller derby started, which you come up with funny names.
Now,
funny names.
The kids that you deal with are like 13 to 18.
Yeah, well, 9 to 18.
Oh, okay, 9 to 18. It's hot. I mean, all athletic teams, all athletes are dealing with the heat here in the summer. What do you do in particular to try to beat the heat? I mean, you have a nice venue here to skate in, but what do you do to keep an eye on the kids?
Yes. Well, most of the time we practice at Skates 280, which is indoors. But yeah, we're here at City Walk at the outdoor rink, which we come skate a lot, and we also go to the skate park. So it's just the most important thing is to hydrate. You have to drink lots and not just sugary Gatorades, but lots of water.
And the helmets just make you hotter, so.
Yeah, we have to wear the helmets to keep our brains safe. But yeah, fans, putting a cool rag around your neck. Yeah, it's hot and humid here in Alabama, so to figure out tricky ways to keep yourself cool.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Road rage. Check out the roller derby. You've got matches coming up in July and August. Tell me where those are, if some kids might want to get involved.
Yes. So August 14th, we're going to play. It's a Sunday morning, but we're playing at Skates 280 against Nashville. But if anyone's ever interested, you can just email us at stillcityslayers.com, at gmail.com, or you can go to that website, and because anyone can do this. We would love to have anyone, even if you don't know how to skate. It's good for all kids.
Doesn't cost a lot. Don't have to have a lot of experience. You don't even have to know how to roller skate. This sounds more and more like my kind of sport, and it is absolutely Alabama.
When Six on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
And being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
Getting to the bottom of health and billing issues that may be hidden in the fine print.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why Six on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. In your community, giving you a deeper perspective with the largest team dedicated to you. Showing new stories from overnight, helping you get through your day. With First Alert weather and traffic, getting to the point, not wasting your time. These are your mornings. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When moments turn severe, how do you find clarity?
This is your first alert from the WBRC Fox 6 weather team. We're with you as we prepare for this threat.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert wherever you are. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m. In a day filled with clutter and noise, WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else. With new updates, live and on the scene, answers for your money and your livelihood with Six on Your Side investigates. And your first alert for the hours and days ahead with the WBRC First Alert Weather Team. On your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
All right, checking out that 7-day forecast. We're going to see higher rain chances over the next couple of days here. You can see temperatures in the 80s into the weekend, but it is going to feel very tropical, very humid. Those muggy levels ramp up. That tropical moisture is really going to thicken up across the region, and that's going to keep those rain chances going into next week, especially if we get a tropical depression or tropical storm forming and moving across the region. But notice this weekend right now we have a 30% chance of rain, but check in with us because we may need to fine-tune those rain chances based on what we see happening down over the Gulf of Mexico. At the moment, all the wet weather's to the south for the most part. There's Alexander City, Rockford. I've been watching some of these pop-ups happening around Chilton County. See that? We have some scattered areas of rain, so giving you that first alert. Check the weather app here. Maybe a couple of lightning producers happening in those areas to the far south. That's where the greatest chance for pop-up showers will be here through tonight and into tomorrow. But it looks like during the day tomorrow, starting off very dry, maybe some 60s early on. I want to stop it right here because we do see 90s. It looks certainly across West Alabama like another scorcher out there temperature-wise during the afternoon hours and feeling a lot hotter. There's 3 o'clock and the afternoon we don't see a lot of rainfall. Again, maybe to the south there could be a stray pop-up, but those rain chances very limited. We have another front that's going to move in on Wednesday, and that brings up those rain chances. You can see there we're looking around Fayette and in the parts of Pickens County. Pretty good coverage there. 2 to 3 o'clock we're going to see those rain chances coming up, but this unsettled weather will continue Wednesday night into the day on Thursday. Look for a good chance for some scattered areas of rain and storms developing. And again, if we see something happening here with this tropical system, those impacts, this would really impact, I think, rain chances once we get to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can see that system potentially spinning up here by Thursday. And this model does a great job. This is the Barron model. This thing has a history of performing well when it comes to tropical systems, and it takes that system a little bit west, but some of the long-range data like the European model and the GFS, as Lauren was noting, we have some models that bring that system, if we have a tropical depression or tropical storm, that bring that back to the east direction, so that could certainly impact rain chances for the weekend. But this is a look at some of the model projections, and again, we're seeing some areas here. You can obviously tell where the core heaviest rain would be located out of this, but a system that's kind of tracking in that direction, that always puts Alabama on the wetter side. So with a cyclonic flow that would bring in winds out of the south and help pump in some of those high, what we call precipitable waters, we see the atmosphere really juiced up, a lot of tropical moisture, so you get those downpours, and it doesn't take long at all for a quick 2 to 3 inches of rain in these tropical type setups. So that's what we got to watch out for Wednesday and Thursday. I think impacts could include some localized flooding. That will be a concern later in the week, and especially this weekend if we do see some of those heavier bands of rain moving our way. Temperatures in the 80s, overnight lows near 70 degrees. But we do have some more wet weather in the forecast, and I was actually checking in with our First Alert weather watcher in Lamar County, Anthony McDonald, and said we still could use some rain. So you're going to have some chances, especially in West Alabama where we've had that moderate drought. And that's one of the things I want to bring in meteorologist Lauren Linehan. And Lauren, looking at where some of this heavier rain could set up later in the weekend, into the weekend, is actually in parts of our area where we've had some of those moderate drought conditions, and back into Mississippi where they're actually dealing with severe drought conditions.
Right. I know some of us have been so waterlogged here over the weekend. We got plenty of rainfall, but it is looking more promising for July that we could get some beneficial rainfall in the forecast. Of course, a big question on everyone's minds, like, okay, if it's going to be raining a lot, will it be cooler? Sometimes. So let's look beyond the 7-day here. That 8 to 14-day temperature outlook is showing a good portion of the U.S. right through the Great Plains, the heartland, above average temperatures. And here in Alabama, still seeing temperatures running above average. And of course, the humidity is still going to be high. So there is that. But as we look ahead in terms of temperatures here, 8 to 14 days from now, you can certainly see as we get into early next week that we do have that potential with more rainfall around, that highs may only be in the 80s. But as we look to later next week, check it out, getting those highs back into maybe the mid upper 90s. And with the humidity, it could feel a lot hotter than that. And just so you know, our average high this time of the year is right at 91 degrees. Now, as far as that rainfall outlook, remember, this is 8 to 14 days from now. So we're probably going to get a good dousing here over the next week with that potential for a tropical system brewing, but still showing across parts of the southeast, even over the next couple of weeks, some elevated rain chances. So it's certainly something we're going to be watching here with the First Alert weather team, and we'll be keeping you posted on air and online. Make sure you have that WBRC First Alert weather app downloaded. First Alert Weather Extra will be right back with a look at some weather pictures with Matt and Mickey.
At West Shore Home, we pride ourselves on being the fastest and most convenient option for homeowners who are looking for a new shower or bath project. Today, Joe and I are going to look at some projects, why they're so popular, and how we can offer you some extra savings right now.
Yeah, well, Kirsten, the big question out there is why are so many people choosing to remodel their shower or bath right now?
Joe, right now homeowners across America are looking for ways to reinvest and build value in their homes. Replacing your shower or bath is a great way to do that. For folks who call in right now, we're offering some great savings with our 4th of July flash sale. You can lock in that price and get limited time long-term financing of 0% APR for 48 months. And on top of that, for anyone who calls in now, we'll take an additional $1,500 off your shower or bath project.
Wow, it seems like the price of everything else keeps going up, but you're saying for anybody that calls in now, they can lock in their price and get 0% APR for 48 months. That's amazing. Now, Kirsten, for a project like this, they probably have to put some money down, right?
They definitely don't. So many people think when they're going to do a project like this, they have to have thousands of dollars saved up for a down payment. That's simply not the case.
So you're saying they can start their project now and not have to worry about paying anything out of pocket. That's incredible. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, what do one of these projects look like when they're finished? Can you give us an example?
This homeowner wanted something that was safer and more accessible. We came in and installed a brand new walk-in shower. The best part is they were able to take advantage of our long-term financing. That's 0% APR for 48 months. And just as a reminder, anyone who calls in right now can get an additional $1,500 off their project.
Wow, Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, it does not get any easier than this. This offer ends this week. Call in now to get 0% APR for 48 months. And for a limited time, they're taking $1,500 off every shower and bath project. Call West Shore Home now.
Hey, let's get started right now. We had, some storms over the weekend. I was driving through some storms between Sneed, Alabama and Attalla, and it was coming down hard, and a lot of folks got pictures and videos of that.
Yeah, we gave you that first alert days before of all the stormy weather expected, and you sent in those photos and videos as well. So I want to show you this one video out of here, out of Winfield.
Jacqueline Campbell sent this in, and apparently the wind was picking up and the rain was about to come down, so yeah, it looks pretty ominous in that particular view.
Yeah, we've got these what we call shelf clouds. These are usually the leading edge of those storms. You see this, you're probably going to get wind and a lot of heavy rainfall and maybe some frequent lightning. This is from Faye Baker out of Winston County.
Thank you, Faye. Moving along here, this is the Arkadelphia overpass. Carlos Lopez sent that in, and got a couple of rolling clouds coming on through there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to want to take some shelter if I see something like that from the distance.
Oh boy, and boy, that's kind of pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, a little time lapse.
Yeah, the time lapse, so that rain coming through. Heavy, heavy stuff.
Yeah, Bill Todd sent this in. This is looking up towards northern parts of Jefferson County. This is just really cool. You can see at the very bottom of the clouds where it looks a little discolored, that's just rain coming in on down. And of course, we had some gusty winds. In fact, Saturday we had that severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for parts of Jefferson and Shelby counties. And
I wonder where he is. That's a gorgeous view, isn't it?
It is a gorgeous view. So thank you so much for sending that video in. And this is a view, it looks like it's from Red Mountain perhaps.
Yeah, R.J. Jones sent that out, so yeah, it could be there or Shades Mountain. I'm not sure where that view is.
Either way, that is a shelf cloud, and that's some nasty weather on the way. And this is another video. This is sent in, it just said Jimmy in the app. So hey, if you want your last name mentioned, make sure you put that in for us. But Jimmy.
I think it's Jimmy Jam?
It could be any Jimmy.
Okay.
But this is Shelby County right here, and very ominous looking clouds.
It's Shelby Jimmy. All right, and right here, this is from Donna McNutt in Pell City. A lightning struck a tree there and just ripped that bark right off of it.
Yeah, and I imagine that is very scary if you're just in the kitchen or in the living room and all of a sudden, bam, you get that. So lightning can be a big hazard and danger across central Alabama during this time of the year. That's why when we say when thunder roars, you need to go indoors. And this storm could have, that lightning strike could have struck maybe 10 miles before the storm even arrived. So that's some scary stuff. So thank you for sending that in. Hopefully everyone was safe. And, along with the lightning, the wind, it was the rain, Mickey, that you were telling about earlier that was a big problem.
Yeah, this is from Cece. I guess it's Cece Ryder because she's riding in a car.
Oh, yeah.
All right. But lots of rainfall coming through there, and, you can get that ponding and hydroplaning on the roadways. So not the time to set your cruise control. I've done that before, and your tires keep spinning. It causes you to lose control. So take it off the cruise control and pump the brakes. Don't hit them hard. But anyway, thank you for sending that in.
And with all the heavy rainfall, we had some flood concerns as well. Some flash flood warnings were issued. This is near Rosedale Drive and 18th Street in the Homewood area. This is Kimberly Anderson sending this in. And this car is doing the right thing. They wanted to drive through that water on the right-hand side. They decided, you know what, I'm going to stop and I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go in a different direction. I don't want to drive through it.
Turn around, don't drown. That's what you wanted to say, isn't it?
I was leading you up to say that. So
Oh,
it worked out.
That was my line?
Yes, it was.
Okay, turn around, don't drown.
It was a setup. You got it.
Okay. And we have one more, I think, or a few more. Oh, that's at the end of all the rain and the end of all the storms, the sign of the promise.
Yeah, so we had a nice little rainbow there from Smith Lake. Natalie Chanley sending that in through the First Alert weather app. And one more, Mickey.
We got another one?
With the sunset and that rainbow, we had some really cool colors, some red, orange skies after those storms moved through.
Yeah, it's the same effect at the end of a thunderstorm. You see that orange sky is the same kind of spectrum that's going on with a sunset. So thank you, Michael Winston, for sending that in from Holly Pond. That's about where I was coming through.
Beautiful view. So Mickey, what do I do if I want to send in a photo? How do I do that?
You get this fancy pants free weather app. It's a WBRC First Alert weather app. You download that sucker and you can submit photos just like these folks do. You just scroll down to the very bottom and send them on in. We can feature them right here.
Yeah, make sure you put your name, where you're from, and where you got it. And we'd love to show it on TV and, of course, right here on First Alert
Weather Extra. Yeah.
We'll have to work on that.
Weather Extra. Yeah. Okay, next time.
Keep working on it. Keep working on it, guys. All right, as we wrap up the show here, we have some breaking space news coming in today. And I know this looks like a scene off of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, but this is the real deal. It's actually the deepest, most detailed view of the universe to date. And this is from the new James Webb Telescope. This was just put into place to give us it's some of the most advanced technology that we have, one of the most detailed and sharpest views of the galaxy. This is actually a galaxy that's over, as it was over 4 billion years ago that we're looking at. Yeah, all that space-time stuff. Sometimes it's tough to kind of wrap your mind around some of the physics involved, but it does look quite fascinating. And if you really get in there, I was trying to zoom in, you can actually see some little galaxies. It's just incredible here. This painting that we see in our skies and heavens above. Quite a view there of the cosmos. As we take a look at our forecast, we're going to have that chance for showers and storms on Wednesday and Thursday on the increase. And as we've been telling you here, we're going to be watching that system over the Gulf of Mexico and see how that could impact those weekend rain chances. Right now we have a 30% chance of showers and storms, highs in the 80s, but it is going to feel very, very soupy. I know at times this summer we've told you about that air that you can wear. Well, it is certainly going to be here this week, especially by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll have more on what's on the way. Of course, you'll want to check in with us as we monitor those developments coming up on WBRC Fox 6 News tonight at 9, 9:30, and 10.